That's what you attribute stuff to.
No.
That's
What
the made up.
I mean,
That's human conceptualizations.
No. I mean the capacities of the things themselves. I
The
think
capacities, though, are only
perhaps
defined
matter and
by.
energy can't act in a different way.
Then you would have to say that some bits of energy are different from other bits of energy. And you can no longer say that a skyscraper is different from a pile of rubble in just its arrangement of that same bits of energy.
Well, no.
You want to say it's
What I'm saying is that when it formulates, it interacts in such a way that
formulates.
when it comes together, when matter and energy, particular conglomerates, say
comes together?
The issue is, I guess, an unstructured view of what exactly the components of the universe are. So, is matter and energy a singularity? I don't think so. That doesn't make sense even to say. So how does a singularity differentiate even? I mean, so these are all problems. I mean, we really are all bullshitting ourselves into thinking that we know what we're talking about when we speak of the basic units or the basic understandings or the basic things that make up our universe are. And to say that then we can even say what it needs to have in order to be the way it is. I mean, all we really know are the ways in which these things situate themselves. And apparently matter and energy, as they formulate into the things that we see around us, the universe itself, we just see what they are. We can see the things themselves. We can see how they interact. And we make, given our consciousness, generalizations or comments or we have ideas about them. But, I mean, just to say that we can know what those things are exactly, know that they have certain restraints for sure, and know that those restraints must be imposed. I mean, it's like 5 removed from what we can even do with ourselves. I think that some things are just out of our capacities. I think it makes more sense for me, at least as I understand it, to say that the things that are the constituents of what we have around us act in particular ways, and I don't think we need to say that they act in particular ways because something decided they must act that way. I mean, think about human capacities. So, do humans act in certain ways because that which makes us up gives us limits? Or do we act in certain ways because the hand of God is locking us down, right? So can we not fly because of the restraints of the universe itself? Or can we not fly because God is superimposing his hand above us? I mean, if it makes sense to speak about constraints about ourselves, given the way in which matter conglomerated into us, why would it make just as much sense to say that which formulated us just can't do certain things given its own incapacities?
Because all of what you were just saying there is making reference to a limiting factor. It's making reference to a factor that either tells, instructs, or makes the little things in the universe formulate, as you say, into a bunch of different things. You recognize that there's different things. You recognize that it's made up of similar things. And you recognize that in made up this way, it forms this thing that we can conceptualize. But aside from just being able to conceptualize these things as different things, we can actually see that there is a difference in structure between the things. It's not just a human conceptualization. But every time that you refer to that, you refer to these rules or these standards of formulation without actually addressing them. And that's what I'm trying to get you to do. What are those rules?
No, I'm saying that I don't know, let's say, how to envision the rules themselves, but it does seem that there are certain incapacities that which forms into the world has. Right? So there are certain things that it just can and cannot do.
Why?
I don't know why, and I've been very clear about that. I have no idea why it can do certain things.
But you know it can't be energy itself. You know it cannot be the stuff that makes up the physical universe itself. But it's the basis, the parameter in which the physical universe in its entirety operates. That you can know.
I don't know what you mean.
You know that the physical universe operates in a lawful way, and that these laws are not actually those bodies within the universe, but are somehow separate, distinct, and informative of those things that are lawful, whether it's shooting people to the moon, or curing cancer, or whatever. If you can do that, then you can say that these restraints or this lawfulness or whatever it might be exists separate from the things that we can observe, being the actual physical bodies.
I don't know what that makes sense to say. What does it mean to say that the laws that bind it are different than the ways in which it came together?
No, the laws that bind it are not that
like
which does
speaking
not.
in abstraction.
Welcome to language. What is different here? What's separate here? What's separate here? I'm not saying that the laws of the universe are the way things come together. That's obviously the laws of the universe. I'm saying that things that are coming together are not themselves the laws. That you have two things. It takes two to tango. You have the thing doing the thing in a lawful way, and you have the law. Good with that? Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay, so one more time.
One more time. Two things. The laws and the energy that is being lawful. I'm not suggesting to you that laws are not how things form. I'm saying that if you're saying that things are forming in a predictable way, they are doing so by something that's not actually that which is forming, but that which is doing the forming, but that's which allows the forming to occur in the first place.
I'm trying to gather this. I'm continuing to see that. Are you supposing a necessity for like a superimposition of the laws on the things themselves?
Such that what? Give me an example.
I mean, such that when the contributing factors to the universe come together, they can't come together in such a way that necessitates certain kinds of interactions.
It's a little certain when stuff in the universe comes together is cut out.
No, I'm not. You're good.
Oh, sorry, you cut out there. Oh, we're okay. We're good.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. All right. And then, sorry, what was your question?
I mean, what I was saying is that I don't see the necessity for calling for superimposition of the laws. All I can tell is that why do we need to move beyond instead of just saying that when this comes together in a certain way, it acts in a certain way.
Right, because we have to say why it acts in that certain way.
Oh no, and I'm saying it just seems to be it's the quality of the way in which it comes together.
That's equivalent to saying just because, and that's not an answer. I mean,
No,
what is it?
I mean, yes-ish.
Yes-ish.
Yeah, I mean, yes. To an extent, it's saying that. Well, what I'm saying is that things may have qualities in virtue of what they are. I mean, that might sound semi-meaningless, but I don't think it's as dumb as it sounds.
Well, okay. A thing has attributes. Why does one thing have attributes?
See, here's the thing, okay? And I did a video on this too. I'm not entirely sure it makes sense to always ask why. Just because why can be proposed doesn't mean why is a question that is necessarily as meaningful as it might sound to us. Okay. I guess it's the simplest way I can put it, right? So I could very easily ask the same thing about any quality about God. I mean, I could just say, well, why does he have that quality? And you'll say, well, in virtue of the fact that he is God. And I mean, and you said it at the beginning of the conversation, right? He's omnipotent in virtue of the fact that he's God, because if he weren't God, he wouldn't be omnipotent. And it's very flat.
Just that the attribute of his omnipotence came from his creation of the universe. If there exists something, and that was where the conversation went, is that there might have been something outside of the natural universe that he is not, nor does not have power over. But therein, we're no longer talking about God. We're just talking about the creator of the physical universe,